weeks, there's been much discussion about the challenges before us. But healthy debate is part of democracy. But it's important that we remain focused on facts, on progress, and on the responsibilities that we carry to serve the people of this country. For too long, politics in St. Martin has been driven by narrow interest rather than public good, and this has held us back. My commitment is to break that cycle, strengthen our institutions, deliver meaningful reforms, and to ensure that our justice system works for everyone. I was not appointed to play politics, but to serve the people of this country. I accepted this responsibility because I believe that our people deserve fairness, progress, and action, not empty promises. I once stood outside the system, frustrated at watching it fall short. That experience stays with me and drives me today. It reminds me why change is necessary and why we must never lose sight of who we are and what we're here to do, namely to serve the people of St. Martin. Despite the noise, progress is being made at the kingdom level, regionally, and here at home. Earlier this month, at the judicial four-party consultation in The Hague, St. Martin's challenges were not just mentioned, but they were put at the center of the table. On detention, youth crime, and forensic care, I pressed for solutions that directly address our reality. The consultations also resulted in signed agreements on forensic care cooperation, new training programs, and the end of outdated guardianship arrangements that disadvantage our children. In January, when St. Martin hosts the next YVO, the four-party consultation, I will continue to push for solutions grounded in law and guided by St. Martin's best interests. On financial crime reform, I've taken a clear position. St. Martin cannot afford to be graylisted. That would damage our country, damage our economy, weaken investor confidence, and ultimately hurt our people. This is why I brought together all the relevant stakeholders from both the public and private sectors. These include the Central Bank of St. Martin and Curaçao, our Financial Intelligence Unit, the FIU or the MOT, the Ministries of Justice, General Affairs, TIAT, Finance, our Tax Administration, the Public Prosecutor's Office, KPSM, our Landsrecherche, the Chamber of Commerce, Customs, and VDSM, in order for us to all form a national committee tasked with carrying out reform in this sector. During our first meeting last week, we created ownership by assigning responsibilities across institutions and began prioritizing actions in the short, medium, and long term. For the first time, everyone is working together from the same table with clearly defined tasks. This structure is already functioning, even as the legal formalization of this committee is being formalized by Landsbesluit. The group will meet every 2 weeks, with me personally chairing this group once a month to keep track of progress. In the coming days, I will travel to Panama to attend the 17th CFATF Council of Ministers meeting, where St. Martin will once again make its case at a regional level. The meeting will focus on shaping CFATF's strategic plan for 2025 to 2028, including priorities for mutual evaluations, training, and technical assistance, as well as discussions on the EU list of high-risk third countries and the steering group's activities for the year ahead. My participation is not just about meeting international standards, but about demonstrating that St. Martin is serious about protecting its financial system and defending our country's reputation. At the same time, we also continue on working on modernizing our immigration services. The rollout of our new digital immigration system is underway, giving applicants a fairer, modern, and simpler process. For citizens and residents, this means shorter waiting times, clearer steps, and a system that they can finally trust. So this will be rolling out over the next weeks, and we'll be launching campaigns to that effect, and those will follow within the coming month. When it comes to the Point Blanche prison, the project is also moving forward, both the construction and the soft components. We remain on track for the start of the construction during this quarter of the year, and in the coming weeks, I will be able to share more concrete updates. This project, of course, is central to restoring balance in our justice chain and, more importantly, rebuilding public trust. Then, our justice workers. My commitment to delivering on the LBAs before the year end stands, and we're on schedule. We're working diligently to complete phase 1 batches in a way that is both efficient and effective so that this long-awaited process is finalized properly. Then I've also gotten some questions with respect to phase 2. And I want to assure everybody that we're working to amend the law on that point. 2 administrations ago, there was a change in the law that had been presented to the governor. The law had initially contained a phase 2. However, nobody can explain how, but that phase 2 was removed from the draft that was at the governor, and this was only noticed after the law was passed. So we've, of course, made it a priority to make the amendment to the legislation in order to ensure that phase 2 can commence in 2026 once we finish phase 1 at the end of this year. So I want to reassure everyone that the amendments have been made and the draft is currently at the Department of Legal Affairs and Yezet and Way, as we call it, and for legal vetting. And this is also, again, to ensure that as of 2026, once phase 1 is completed, that we can start phase 2, which again are those retroactive payments. So again, I just want to take this moment to reassure everybody, don't let anybody fool you. Phase 2 will happen. We are making those changes. And, I please just listen to the messaging coming from the minister because, I have noticed over the past days, weeks, and months that a lot of misinformation is put out there or maybe a wrong interpretation of what is actually happening. So I just want to take this moment to reassure everyone. And I also want to thank our justice workers for your patience. And I want to assure you that your dedication has not gone unnoticed. You continue to be the pillars that uphold this ministry, and without you, none of our progress would be possible. In addition, I have also scheduled a meeting with the CCSU to address pending matters within the ministry and to provide space for any other concerns that the unions feel are important to bring forward. This engagement is part of ensuring open dialogue, transparency, and collaboration with those who represent our justice workers as we continue to strengthen this ministry together. However, due to the unavailability of the unions and the members of the CCSU before October 16th, the meeting is now scheduled for that date. I will end by saying this. Everyone who has served in this ministry, past and present, knows that grit and determination are required every single day, along with very thick skin. But the Ministry of Justice is the largest in the government, and it's often the most talked about ministry. Yet, no matter the rhetoric, our focus remains on upholding the rule of law, ensuring public safety, and safeguarding the fundamental rights of the people of St. Martin. Let us not be sidetracked. The Ministry of Justice is not a rudderless ship, and let us keep our eyes on the path we have set out and bring about real change to strengthen the foundation of our justice system. Do not be swayed by the loudest or most persistent voices, because repeating a lie will never make it the truth. The message is simple. We're not standing still, and we are moving forward, and we are moving forward with purpose.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, Com programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
As some of you may be aware, I recently traveled to Dubai to attend the 28th Universal Postal Congress alongside my counterpart of Curaçao, Minister Charles Cooper. The Congress focused on reviewing essential international postal treaties covered by key areas such as customs and security protocols, digital transformation, sustainability, and the continued modernization of the universal postal services. While in Dubai, I also had the opportunity to attend a food security summit for 2025. This summit was highly insightful, offering the best practices and innovation approaches to sustainability and agriculture. I was also able to make several meaningful contacts that could support and strengthen our food security and initiatives here in St. Martin. In fact, this week I have already initiated a number of follow-up meetings to explore how these global strategies can adapt and be applied locally. Looking ahead, I also like to take a moment to highlight that this coming Saturday, September 28th, we will be celebrating World Tourism Day 2025. This year's theme is Tourism and Sustainability Transformation. With that in mind, I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank all those working across every level of the tourism industry, from the hotel staff, tour operators, taxi drivers, restaurant workers, and to policy work makers and entrepreneurs. And last but not least, our tourist office for playing a vital role in shaping the visitors and the experience and strengthening our economy. This coming weekend, we're also going to be relaunching the Tourism Pioneer Program, honoring those that have made a legacy in creating a strong foundation for tourism. So looking forward to that and looking forward to personally addressing the public on that day and reflecting on how we can continue building a more sustainable and inclusive, forward-thinking tourism sector for St. Martin.
What is the ROI for study financing over the past years on St. Martin? My question, I'm asking what's the ROI, return on investment to St. Martin, with all the money we're pumping into study financing to educate our youths, our local people on this island, when there is absolutely no jobs left available for them?
I could tell you what my ROI is. I went and studied on a burst and I came back. So here's your return on investment on me. I could only justify that data. And here's another one. Here's another data. That's the return on investment. And here we are now working for our country. That's the ROI. For the rest, I can't give you the data on that. I know we are here, and I don't want to say that I don't want to give you any smooshes like they say in Dutch, because I've been reading a lot of Dutch these last couple of days. But I'm not here for that. But we've been here 16 months. And I said it earlier in an interview on Lady Grace, the Breakfast Club. We've been here 16 months. Of the 16 months, 6 months we were a demissionaire government. What do you say it in English again? How do you say it? Caretaker government. 6 months. We got in officially November of last year. We've only been in this position really working and be able to execute for the last couple months. The budget is a compounded question. I'm going to give you a compounded answer. We got in May of last year, 2024. Budget 2025 was already submitted. So we had to work with budget 2024. We are here working with budget 25, which is not the budget that we put together. We are now going to be working on amending budget 2025 so it could at least be in alignment with what we want. You can't have ideas with a budget that does not that's not in affiliation, that does not affiliate, that's not in alignment with your ideas, with your thing. So that's where we are. And I'm not here to complain. I'm just giving you the reality. Budget 2025 is 530 million guilders. The ministry that has the most of it is education, number one, justice, number two, education with 120, I think justice with 107, and VSA with 97. And all three ministries are still underfunded. What are we really telling the people? If we want to go there, let's go there. That's so the question is, how do we fix that? Do you think 530 million is enough to run this country? I would personally tell you, from an economic standpoint, no. Because of that 530 million guilders, TIAT only has 22 million guilders. That's all we work on. And of that 22 million, only 4 million we use to market this country. And we are the backbone. We have to make sure that the economy is flowing. So what are we really telling St. Martin is what you should be asking financially, holistically. So with that said, Bibi, I could tell you personally, we can't run this country on no 530 million guilders. We need an injection of at least another 200 million to run this country, at least $750 million to run this country meaningfully, to give them the right jobs, the right salaries. Because when our people go away and they get a touch of the salaries over there, we can't afford the salaries that they're getting over there. So we need to be pumping in more money. We need a cash injection of minimum 250 million to run this country. So with that, I hope I could answer you, because if another government administration, if another administration come in and they continue dancing around that same 530, that's going to be the reality. We would go nowhere. So our idea, the ministers, all of us, we are here only about a few months, and we're looking at this budget and like, how can the ideas we have fit this budget? This minister is struggling. I have to sometimes take out of my measly 22 million and help this minister sometimes when she have issues. What are we telling the people of St. Martin? We need to find money. We need money to do right by the people. And 530 ain't making it. It's just not hacking it. And that's the only way I could answer it, Bibi. That's the only way I could give you the reality of how we are right now. And this administration, that's the idea, the aim is to find a way to increase the budget by at least another 200 million. I for sure want to push that, because Minister of Justice can't function. Education can't function. Not with that measly budget. Although they're taking up most of the budget, they cannot function. Am I right or wrong, Minister?
You are right,
Okay.
but I'm saying, Minister, yes, we are in a financial situation on all the ministries. I know this. But the couple of jobs, the few jobs we have, for example,
Bibi, have you been paying attention to corporate governance? You know that this administration cannot decide who takes what position. Usually you need to follow corporate governance. Then depending on how every government
but that is
entity
not
set
being
up.
followed.
Well, that's
It's not being followed.
That's
GEBE right now is getting a statutory director that got in there by a default, by a fluke, somebody that they were pushing from day one. Then you have TLM. I mean, this is where I'm trying to get. The little jobs that we have available with a high-paying salary is not going to locals.
I could tell you right now, those salaries still ain't high. But anyway, that's a whole compounded question, Bibi. We'll be here all day talking. You want an hour? 2 hours? Then let's have a press briefing on that conversation alone. Thank you.
Your social and health insurances. Your social and health insurances.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, com programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
It is an honor to join you as we mark 30 years since Beijing, a moment that ignited a global movement of women's rights. 30 years after Beijing, Antigua and Barbuda has moved steadily from promise to action. We have made significant progress. More women, especially young women, in leadership, more female university graduates than males, elimination of inequities in remuneration, and stronger protections in law. Our government continues to institute programs and measures against gender-based violence and sexual offenses against our women and girls, which collectively remain a global challenge. Gender equity is not only a matter of rights, it is essential for justice, development, and sustainability of families and communities. No nation can reach its full potential when half of its people are held back. Our responsibility is clear: to recommit to Beijing's promises by ensuring equal pay for equal work, protecting women from violence, investing in health and education, and opening doors to leadership. For small states like mine, empowering women is critical to survival and sustainability, because women are at the heart of family, community, economy, and resilience in the face of climate change. Excellencies, the Beijing Declaration is not a relic of the past. It's a living promise. Antigua and Barbuda recommits to accelerating implementation of all Beijing commitments to resource gender equality in work, even amid fiscal constraints, amplifying women's leadership in climate action, finance, and peace building, and building a society where every woman and girl can thrive as equal partner in development. Colleagues, gender equality is not only a moral imperative, it is a prerequisite for sustainable development, justice, and peace. Antigua and Barbuda will stand firm, work harder, and speak louder, because the rights, dignity, and potential of women and girls everywhere must never again be negotiable. Let us therefore act with urgency so that equity becomes equality, and every woman and girl can live free, lead boldly, and achieve full potential. I thank you.